Welcome back to Studio 5. There are so many fun to-dos that come with planning a wedding. You've got the invitations, you've got the flowers, the reception, but our next guest says sometimes parents miss the most important detail of all, preparing your child for not the wedding, but the relationship.
Studio 5 relationship coach Matt Townsend found himself on the parent side of this situation recently. His beautiful daughter, Sarah, got married a couple weeks ago. And Matt found himself asking Sarah 3 important questions he says all parents should ask before the big day. Was this an emotional day for you here, the whole wedding thing?
It wasn't till the very end. Till
daddy-daughter dance?
The dance. Because I wasn't anticipating that. I mean, I'm a dancer for sure, but I wasn't anticipating that's a pretty precious moment. And then she broke down.
Oh.
I think it's because she realized it's over. No more of this.
Oh, I thought it was just beginning.
No.
I found this really interesting, and we've been talking about it a lot all summer because you give such great advice about relationships, and then you found yourself counseling your own daughter.
And then everyone wants to know, so what's Matt Townsend going to say? And I didn't know and I'll tell you at the end what I said. But it's pretty cool. But there's 3 questions I asked. And by the way, when asking these questions are not just good for the kids getting married, it's good for you as a parent who's already married, or if you're already in love, or you're already feeling the love, or you're losing the love. Answer these 3 questions. They'll give you some keys, okay?
What's the first one?
First question, what does a marriage commitment really mean to you, and what are you willing to give up for it? Every commitment we make has a cost. Everyone always looks at the upside of marriage, but there's a cost to the downside of marriage. What are you willing to lose? Because everyone always makes the promise to love, honor, and cherish through thickness and thin. What does that mean? Apparently we're going to gain weight.
Yeah.
Through good times and bad times, through rich and poor.
And we focus on the positive because it's such a happy day.
Oh, it'll always be rich. It'll always be thin.
Consider the negative too, and what you're willing to sacrifice.
What are you willing to give up? And what does it mean to you? Does it mean that you stick with somebody that is sick, that has emotional issues and depression? Does it mean that you stick with somebody that doesn't make money? Because you always dreamed that they would make money because your prince always had money. But what if your prince doesn't have money? They don't have any money, but they've got a huge heart and they give, give, give.
Okay, here's this time though. The child is getting ready for this marriage. They're so excited. They're not going to listen to anything you say.
No, that's the key.
Is this sort of like a downer for them though? Or you just sort of depressing them?
That's why I wouldn't
doing it at the day of the wedding, right?
I didn't even talk to my daughter the week before the wedding.
Yeah.
Because in the end, it doesn't matter. You can't ask these up front when they're yearning and chemically charged. I'd be asking them all along in life. When they're starting to date someone and get serious, I'd start saying, what does marriage mean to you? When you think you want to go get married, what does it mean? Because I would bring home examples every day from work. When you find out that the person you're dating really can't finish school because they're not good at school and they're horrible at focusing and learning, what does that mean? Are you willing to stick that out? Are you willing to be married to a man that won't finish school?
And how do you come across as not the negative parent who's just throwing red flags along the path? I just say
these are questions, and then I just say here. I just ask it as a rhetorical. I just want you to think about it. And what do you think it means? What does it mean when all of a sudden you find out your mother-in-law will not leave you alone and is going to adjust your clothing and tell you what you should wear and you shouldn't wear? What does it really mean to you? Are you willing to stick it out then? Anyway, some of it's theoretical for them.
So you're role-playing a little bit. What if?
But I do this with my kids now. What would happen? What would you rather have, this or this? What would you rather have? Would you rather lose a child or your job permanently, or be disabled and incapable of performing a job?
And I love that you're doing it with your kids along the way, because if you try to be this parent at the end, it's going to be awkward, it's going to be uncomfortable, and they're not going to listen.
Totally. Second question is probably the most profound, I think. How do you feel about yourself when you are with your significant other? To me, the #1 breakdown I see in marriages is that we start losing who we are. We lose our own identity. We lose who we are. So I want my daughter to know who she is long before she ever tries to bring someone else into her life. Our job is not just to have a partner that makes us feel good. We need to know who we are and feel good, you know, irrespective of what they bring to us. I need to know how to feel good in my own life. Does my partner enhance my ability to feel better about myself? Are they an additive? Are they enhancing my life? Are they enriching my experience? Are they giving me more confidence? Or do they end up taking confidence out of me? At the end of the night, am I exhausted by this person? Am I afraid of this person? Do I notice that I don't dare do certain things? Okay, those are important things to start watching for. And a lot of times, you'll hear your kids actually bringing stuff up like this. Like, is it normal to have them always tell you that you're not good at something? Because I used to think I was pretty good at stuff. That's a pretty big indicator that, you know what, maybe this isn't the person that's going to build your child's self-worth.
I can see that's an important question to ask when they're 16, 17, 18, dating, long before they ever get married, before you have to really lay that foundation there.
It's a big one. Last but not least, what are your biggest life dreams and goals, and how does your fiance fit into those goals? Fastest way I've ever found to blow someone's dreams up about marriage is have them talk about their dreams of their life and just let them just express what their life's about. So what do you want to do with your life? I want to be a movie star, and I want to go to Hollywood, and I want to be on tons of movies and television. I want to change the world, and I want to do a dog commercial for dogs that don't have families. And let them just share their dream.
Where did that come from?
I know, that was one of my
Whose dream is that?
But let them share their dream, because when they share their dream, and then you just kind of slyly ask, and how does your partner fit into that dream? Then you don't have to say anything. So a lot of these are rhetorical questions that if you just get them understanding the power of them, and then let the question itself work them. You don't need to beat up the fiance. You don't need to be the one that says, you know, he's not going to be able to provide that. Just say, how do you think this partner is going to be able to fit into that dream?
So what did you tell Sarah then before she got married?
This is the night before. So the night before we had a wedding dinner, and this is all I could say. Your peace will never come from your partner. Your peace on earth never comes from your position, your power, your who you know, or your partner. It can never come from that. It has to come from your principles and from some higher power. So your peace comes from a higher power and living correct principles. It will never come from your partner. The minute you think your peace comes from your partner, you actually expect them to bring you peace, which can't happen. They can make your life easier, but no one's going to bring you permanent peace except living correct principles and being connected to a higher power.
Love it.
Huge lesson for all of us.
Love it. It is. Matt, thank you.
Thanks, you
and
guys.
congrats to Sarah. She was a beautiful bride.
She's a babe, and
she is.
She's cute as
and her
can be.
fiance's,
he's
great
a stud,
too.
greatest guy on earth. A new son.
Cool.
The principles you talk about are something that's going to come up in the big date, and this is big. This is huge.
This date night is on Saturday, June 22nd. It's at 8 p.m. at the Sandy Amphitheater. It's building relationships that last. So if you have kids that are about to get married, if you have teens that are dating and you're wondering if they have a clue, if you have in-laws, family, friends, bring everybody you can. Saturday, June 22nd. Huge date night. It's for 17 and above, so it's for a ton of people. Peter Breinholt's going to play some music. I do a little 1-hour shtick about how you make a relationship last without a shotgun.
And the
and you go to datenightswithmatt.com.
The Sandy Amphitheater is a cool setting, too.
Huge
What a
setting.
great night.
Nice little sunset. It'll be very romantic.
Okay, datenightswithmatt.com.
.com.
That'll be a fun place to be. Matt, thanks
you guys.